Hey guys, and welcome to another Top 5 Friday. I'm your host, Tim Cant, and if you've been banging your head against a brick wall trying to find some decent limiter plugins, don't worry about it anymore because we've got 5 slammers for you right now. Let's check them out. Inflator V3 is blowing up at 5. Elephant's got junk in the trunk at 4. Pro L2 has unlimited power at 3. Limiter 6G is relishing the number 2 position, and Beat Limiter Stereo is beautifying the top spot. At 5, Inflator V3 from Sonnox. Sonnox are a dependable name in the classic plugin world, and their Inflator limiter has been squashing tracks for years without complaining or breaking up. Coming from the world of traditional mixing and mastering engineering, the Sonnox approach is all about that analog style. You get output and input faders to set your intended reduction, and then curve and effect faders to control what's actually going on under the hood to cause this reduction. The result? A well-limited signal with a good amount of customizability and no fuss. If you demand an analog-style limiter and have a spare 138 quid lying around, give it some thought. Okay guys, hold on to your flipping hats, because we're going to run through the Inflator Basic Loudness Enhancement Procedure, or BLEP as I call it, which is a walkthrough in the manual that tells you how to use the effect. It's kind of most basic fashion. We'll start with the clipping on this clips us to 0 dB, and the manual suggests turning up our level so we get a little bit of red so that we know we're actually clipping. Oh, there we go. And we turn down the output to give ourselves a similar sort of look. On the input and output, I mean, yeah, we're going down to about 6 dB, minus 6 dB there. We want the band split off for the moment, so we're going to turn the effect up to full. And now we can hear the difference between the processed and unprocessed signal by bypassing it. Oh, it's got a lot of loudness. And then what we can do, we can get the exact enhancement we want by turning up the curve or down. This way it's a bit meatier. This way it's more dynamically punchy. And as well as doing that, we can change the input as well. So let's really push it and go crazy, because this is just a demo. Nice and loud. And also there's a band split mode as well, where you can push it even further. So yeah, tried and true limiter there from the OGs at Sonnox. At 4, Elephant by Voxengo. Coming in a fetching shade of grey and certain to stomp on any signal that has the temerity to go above 0 dB, Voxengo's is a no-nonsense tool for eking out that extra edge from your audio. This one can be used quite simply with 2 main controls, input gain and output ceiling, and you can check out the optional release setting too. Plus there's DC filtering, dither, and plenty more to this one as well. Being a mastering limiter, Elephant's level metering has to be on point, and you get a high-res readout of exactly what's happening to your amplitude, alongside a set of options for choosing how the metering is set. Elephant is a cool £115. That's not a crazy amount if you're in the business of getting things ready for broadcast. As you will know if you've used Voxengo plugins before, these are serious bits of kit. They don't have any, bits of frippery or unnecessary bells and whistles, but they do have a lot of useful options. They go real deep. For example, if you check out the metering, look, you've got all this stuff here. Plus, you've got your LUFS, which stands for limit until it's flippin' slamming. Also, you get a choice of limiter modes as well. So I'll show you those there. We don't have time to look at all of those, but I want to compare the regular EL4 mode with the clipper, because I flippin' love clipping, guys. I think it's wicked. So let's have a go. Now we're going to turn this up loud. Obs, watch your bass spins. Ooh. Pretty good, right? I mean, that's really quite nice. Let's have a go with the clipper though, because I flipping love clippers, guys. Let's do this. Oh, there you see, it's getting a little bit hot. Is that too much? Let's compare it with the EL4 modes. So yeah, Both pretty cool. I can't make the decision for you which one is better, but those are just two of the many limiting modes contained within Voxengo Elephant. At 3, Pro L2 by FabFilter. With the usual swathe of awesome features from FabFilter, Pro L gives you limiting in various styles and modes, cutting down your peaks with as much customization as you like. There are attack and release controls here, look ahead, and different ways to link left-right channels, depending on your needs and your source material. What else is here? Linear fades oversampling, dithering, noise shaping, and support for surround make Pro L a no-brainer for pro engineers. It doesn't come cheap though, at £152. Here is a little teeny tip that you might not know about FabFilter Pro L2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play our loop back. I'm going to add some gain. What mode are we in here? Transparent? Let's go for punchy. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this menu. I'm going to activate the solo mode, and this will let us listen to just the gain reduction. Crazy, I know. Isn't that interesting? Oh, and as you hear, as we turn this up, we hear what is getting reduced. If we change a different mode, it'll sound a bit different. So yeah, a little cheeky tip for any advanced engineers out there. At 2, Limiter 6 GE by Tokyo Dawn. The gentleman's edition of Tokyo Dawn's Limiter 6 ain't just a limiter, there's actually 2 of them, and there's also a compressor, a clipper, and more. With its ability to compress thanks to the algorithms from Tokyo Dawn's Molot compressor plugin, Limiter 6 is a great candidate for mixing duties too. There's also mid-side or left-right modes and the ability to unlink in either formation. Back to limiting duties, you can set Limiter 6 to a target level and let it do the reduction itself. And there's easy comparison of before and after signals with the auto pad button. Okay, let's take a little looky at a TDR Limiter 6 GE. First things first. At first, I couldn't work out how to reorder the modules. Turns out, it's very simple. You drag these things around. Might save you a little tiny bit of time. Next, let's just have a look at these modules, see how loud and slamming we can make our beat. Okay. Very nice. Let's go for a bit of compression at first. Let's whack up that drive. Oh. Maybe have a bit of a play with the release, I guess. HF limit. Nah, I'm not too bothered about that. Let's just go nuts with the clipper. Oh lordy, okay. Maybe I was overzealous there. Oh, no. Too much, Timmy. Okay, now peak limiting. Let's see how much headroom we've got left to muck about with. Oh. Yeah, I think that's all right, man. I mean, obviously it's crazy, but you know, whatever. And you can even mix in some dry amount as well. Obviously, if we take it up, it's going to be a bit too much. Let's take that back down. And then what we can do is, we can see whether we've created a dream or a nightmare by bypassing it and listening to original signal. So yeah, good stuff. And clearly you don't have to bosh the shiz out of your transients and your low end like I did there. You can have a bit more of a gentle approach if you like. This one will do it all. And at number 1, it's Butte Limiter Stereo from Signum. Hailing from the snowy peaks down under, the land where camels and jungle jaguars traverse the desert plains, that's right, Scotland, Signum Audio's Butte range started out as an analysis plugin, but quickly grew to encompass an actual limiter as well. Butte Limiter comes in stereo or surround versions, giving you an advanced limiting algorithm with 5 choices of release shape, gain matching, and probably more information about your waveforms than you ever wanted. The stereo version of Butte Limiter is a cool £70, making it a bargain compared to most others in this roundup. Okay, let's check out this little beaut. It's pretty straightforward, so we can look at basically everything. I've got a little bit of a loop here to test it out on. We've got this lovely display here, as you can see. And when we turn down the threshold, you'll see the gain reduction come into play. So we're going to push it quite hard, as per. Let's try some different modes. Starting with transparent, let's try linear. We're going natural. A little bit more pumpy there. Let's have some smoothness. And of course, pumping mode. Yes. Let's rag this by mucking about with the release time. Currently, we're on auto release time, but we can control its reactivity here. Let's go real fast. So you can really pump the fudge out of it. Also, you can turn that automatic stuff off and just set the release time yourself manually. And there's only really one other thing, which is you can control the level of the pre-gain at the same time as the threshold by holding shift as you move it around. So we'll set it back to 0, and now you can see it'll do that for you, which is a nice little touch, and that's the plugin in a nutshell, guys. Well, that was a lot of fun, but right now I have had limiters up to here. If you haven't, take note that trial versions of all of these plugins are available. So why don't you try them out for yourself, and I'll see you next time on Top 5 Friday.